For Lonzo Ball to lead the New Orleans Pelicans to the coveted Western Conference 8th spot, it's going to be no easy feat. After going up against the Kings and the Jazz, it doesn't get any easier. They will now face their biggest challenge in this 8-game regular season tournament, the Los Angeles Clippers. Sitting high at the number 2 seed in the Western Conference, this team is feared, and for good reason. There are some teams who would rather play the Lakers than the Clippers in a 7-game series because they truly are that lethal. Ever since 2016, when Golden State created an all-star team for the regular season, all of the NBA ownership around the league has been on a scavenger hunt to assemble a comparable team to that of the Warriors, hoping that it will result in the same outcome, trophies and rings. And the Clippers, they were on top of that list. Overnight, they became a real deal contender by signing Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. When those two guys joined Doc Rivers and Lou Williams, the NBA was put on notice. There's a new crew in LA. For Lonzo and the Pelicans to overcome this juggernaut, not too many mistakes can happen. But it's not so much how well the Pelicans play as it is what style the Pelicans play that will be the deciding factor on who walks away victorious. The Pelicans and the Clippers have met 3 times already this season, and the first game, the Pelicans won. And even though some will say that's because Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, you have to realize neither was Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, or Zion. Paul George and Lou Williams got buckets that game, but so did Jrue Holiday. Jrue also got his team involved with 7 assists and pulled away with the W. What we can take away from this game is Jrue Holiday is ready for a Paul George or Lou Williams matchup. And the Pelicans will need someone who isn't scared because Paul George and Lou Williams are the type of players that offensively are relentless. And if they smell one whiff of fear from a defender, you can expect them to have a green light explosion. And their coach, Doc Rivers, has been known to tell his team to just pass it to the guy with the hot hand and get out the way. So players like Jrue Holiday will be very valuable in this matchup, where man-to-man defense is going to be critical. And Jrue Holiday had 1 block and a whopping 6 steals in this game where he defeated Paul George and Lou Williams. But the second time these two teams met, the Clippers had all hands on deck. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Lou Williams, and Patrick Beverley. They treated the Pelicans like children, coming away with the victory by more than 20 points. But the Pelicans added more firepower as well, so why did they lose that bad? Some think it was all because of Kawhi showing up, but they aren't looking close enough. In the first game, Jrue was in control of the team, no power struggle whatsoever. In the second game, Brandon Ingram suited up. He's the only New Orleans Pelican All-Star, and he actually had more points than Jrue in this game. And we all know a 1-2 punch in the NBA definitely works, but we also know it definitely fails at times. And in this game was one of those times when it failed. Without someone to distribute the ball to Brandon and Jrue, they're left on their own to decide how and when they take turns shooting. And while they're great basketball players in their own right, they are not at the top of the list for fast-paced players or playmakers of any kind. Which leads me to Lonzo Ball. He was benched most of this game. Alvin took him out of the starting lineup and spot played him here and there. It was clear that Alvin was saying Lonzo cannot have control of the team nor the pace. Lonzo would try to get into his groove, then he'd be back on the bench. It looked like the coach was just losing faith and confidence in him. He only scored 9 points with 5 assists in this humiliating loss. In the third game, on January 18, 2020, Alvin Gentry got another chance to try and defeat Kawhi Leonard as he led the Clippers' charge. This time, he decided to start Lonzo Ball. The Clippers were in for a rude awakening. What was so easy last time had suddenly become a backyard brawl. Lonzo was finding teammates left and right, securing an impressive triple-double. He was grabbing the ball and pushing the pace and finishing at the rim. This game went down to the wire, but the Clippers won by 3 points. In this game, there was no Paul George or Zion Williamson, and those are 2 big pieces to the puzzle. We have yet to see both of these teams collide while everyone was present. When both of these healthy rosters take the court, hold on to your seat. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and Lou Williams are dangerous, and that's because they accept their roles on their team. They know how to play together, and their stats reveal it. Kawhi is the number 1 option, then Paul George, then Lou Williams. With them playing their role and still being so lethal, they are a tough team for any team to defeat. Kawhi, Paul, and Patrick are all known for their defense, so they're gonna come strong every possession. But so is Jrue and Lonzo Ball. It's going to get ugly. Lonzo is done playing with Patrick Beverley. Alvin Gentry is done playing with Lonzo's minutes, and Lonzo is ready to show Kawhi Leonard what it looks like to have a 300-pound monster catching his lobs. The Pelicans will have to keep a fast pace throughout the game, and Lonzo will have to play 40 minutes. But this game that everyone thought was gonna be just a blowout just got interesting. You can expect me to be live streaming at tip-off time. This was the third video in the series. Go get caught up on the first two and stay tuned for the fourth segment, where I'm going to talk about Lonzo and the Pelicans facing the Spurs in this race to claim the Western Conference 8th seed. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, please, so you get these notifications. Ball facts again. Peace.